Okay, this video is going to walk you through checking books out to patrons using Alma. So we'll go through, some different examples to kind of show you, some of the different things you might see when you're checking books out. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is make sure that you're logged in, and then to go up to the fulfillment drop-down menu. And under Checkout, Check-in, you are going to want to choose Manage Patron Services. Okay, so when this screen opens, you can see that the first thing it's going to want to know is who are you checking the book out to, so patron identification. So you'll see that there is a box here with a cursor in it. Now you have a few different options on how you can look up a patron. So the box, the little scanner box that's next to the circulation desk, you can always swipe a patron's university ID card using the swipe function that's on the right of that little box. If they happen to have one of the new contactless cards, all you need to do is just kind of hold their card up to that box and it should register. It's registered if it makes kind of a happy little noise, and then it pulls up the patron's information here. Now, if they don't have their card, you can always look them up by just typing in their first and last name. And that's what I'm going to do today, because I'm just doing this from my desk, and so I'm not attached to that scanner. So today we're gonna pick on Justin, who's a last student. So I'm gonna ask Justin to spell his name for me. His last name's Houston, so make sure that you know how to spell their name. You can see it's got him pulled up there. If you just guessed on it and typed in Houston that way, it's not gonna pull him up. So type his name in right. And then one thing to notice is that it says right here last student. So that's a good verification. Now if you pulled up a couple of different records, say the student's name was Steve Smith or something like that, and it pulled up two records, and one of them said last student, one of them said USD student, you just want to make sure that you're choosing the right one. So we're going to choose Justin. Okay, so now it's pulled up Justin's user record, and there's a bunch of information up here, but you don't really need to pay too much attention to that. So what we want to do is everything here under this Loans tab. So you can see that it's really ready for you to scan your first item that Justin wants to check out. So here you want to use the handheld scanner to scan the barcode on the inside left of the book, or you can always type it in. So I'm going to try and check out a few different kinds of books to Justin so you can kind of see the difference. The first one I'm going to try is a book from our lower level collection, and if you're familiar with our circulation policy, those books check out to students for 4 weeks. So I'm going to type the barcode in for that book. Okay, so you can see that it's checked out when you see the title here. And then the important thing to note is the due date for the book. So I don't know if you can see this on my computer, but today is June 22nd that I'm recording this video. So it has automatically calculated that 4-week due date for us. So 4 weeks from now is July 20th. So what you want to do is verbally tell the patron that that's the due date for the book. But also, if it doesn't already have one of the sticky little due date slips on the inside left cover, go ahead and add one of those and write in the due date so that they have that in the book, and then the loan process for that book is complete. So let's say, Justin brought a few books up to us at the desk. Let's say he also brought us a study aid. So we'll type in barcode for the study aid. Okay, so here you'll see we got a different due date for this book because the circulation policy for the study aid collection for students is a little bit different. Those will check out either 24 hours or over a weekend if we happen to be checking them out on a Friday. So today is June 22nd and it's a Friday. So, instead of telling us it was due tomorrow on a Saturday, the system knew to check it out over the weekend and gave us a due date of June 25th, which happens to be next Monday. So, again, you'd want to let them know that and put the little sticky due date slip into the book. Just to kind of show you some different things, that could happen. So, not all of the books in the library are loanable. Some of them students cannot check out. Now, our faculty members here at the law school can pretty much check out anything they want, but certain collections, are restricted for students. So, let's say, Justin brought us maybe a reference book, a book that's on the reference collection. So I'm going to type that in. Once you get familiar, you'll be able to know, you'll see the reference sticker on the book and be able to tell the student, I'm sorry, but that's not loanable. But just in case you forget, I'm going to show you what the system does. I'm going to type that in. Okay, so you see it's gonna pop up this box that says loan blocked. You do have access to the override button, but in this case, that's not something you'd want to override. You just have to remind them, oh, I'm sorry, this is a book that's not on loan. It's for in-library use only. So you would just go ahead and click cancel. So, and then that cancels the loan session. So, you can check out, as many books as you need to on one student's session this way. And then once you're finished, you can just click done here. And then it takes you back to the checkout screen. If you want to go all the way back to the home screen, you can just click that USD button there on the left. And that's really all there is to checking out books. On occasion you're going to get, a strange pop-up message here or there, and if you're ever struggling with it, of course ask your supervisor or a librarian that can help you with that. If for some reason the system is just not cooperating, it's not working for you that day, you can always write down the patron's name and write down maybe just the title and the barcode that's in the book, and we can always get it to work in the system later. It's better to make sure that the user gets the book than to make sure that everything works properly with the system. So if that ever happens and your supervisor's not around to help, you can always handle it that way. But that is the basics of checking books out in Alma.